How's it going, guys? StandardJ here, and today we're going to talk about Skull and Bones. We've waited for this game for a long time. It's over 7 years in development. The game has been postponed and canceled, and so now we finally have an open beta. The game releases, I think, next week. I got to try the open beta. It's free. Anybody can play it. I'm glad I did, because now I don't have to spend money on this game. I pre-recorded the footage because of it being a beta. I wanted to allocate all my resources from my computer to the game to make it run as best as it possibly could. So this is kind of like a reaction to my previous recorded clip. As we go along here, this is all pre-recorded stuff that I'm reacting to. So I did have a lot of high hopes for this game. I'm a big fan of Sea of Thieves. I'm also a huge fan of Assassin's Creed Black Flag and Odyssey. Odyssey's in my top 5 games. So when I heard this game was being developed by the Assassin's Creed teams for Black Flag and Odyssey, I was like, perfect. This is going to be amazing, right? It's going to be good. How could they possibly screw this up? Well, let's take a look. So as you can see, the graphics aren't that bad. They're actually pretty good for a AAA game. It's not bad. I mean, the fog looks great. The water looks great. Here's the catch, is the camera views. The camera views are garbage. You're always stuck in this outside camera view unless you hold down the control button, which brings up a spinning wheel to change the view. So it's basically right click, left click. That's it. Which is okay, but that's literally it. That's literally all you do is right click, left click. It should go to this view a lot more often instead of that outside view automatically. The ships are very simple to kill, as you can see. It's one shot to the red box on them, they're done. I'm literally no skill or challenge to this whatsoever. Now granted, this is the opening sequence, I get it. You want to appeal to all different kind of players, you want to keep the skill level down, but I mean, we've done this before in Black Flag, we've done this before in Odyssey, we've even done it in Valhalla. Why dumb it down? I don't understand. And here we go, it's basically the Division on ships. We got a bullet sponge boss, and we're just spamming our fire over and over, trying to dodge the enemy hits. That's really all it is. I mean, I was hoping for more. I was hoping that you could blow the hull open and the ship would sink, or start to sink, you know? Or blow the mast off, or something more realistic than just right-click, left-click, shoot. Boom, 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 boom. You hit it 50 times, you win. For a 7-year game in development, seems very generic. Now this was one cool thing I liked, how you can seamlessly switch views just by turning your cannons around. It's pretty cool that it automatically does that. You'll notice I didn't have to open the wheel to change the view like you do normally out of combat. So at this point in the beta, I was very excited. I mean, this is pretty cool, right? I mean, very simple, yeah. But I gave them the benefit of the doubt, thinking it's a beta. They want to bring as many players, different skills into the game. So you get cooked, basically. Which is pretty typical in any kind of storyline like this. You know, it always starts off where, you know, you start from the bottom and work your way up as the hero. And I have to state for the record, I'm not a fan of cinematic after cinematic after cinematic. I don't like cinematic heavy games. I mean, some games do it well, like Final Fantasy, where there's kind of like the seamless, you know, adaptation of it, but this is a little ridiculous. Oh, hey, check it out. It's the Division 3. I mean, I think they legit took the character creator for the Division and just dumped it in here and put pirate clothes on the models. You can see the controls are kind of wonky. They give you some tattoos and some scars, nothing major. I mean, I would have hoped for a 7-year development that you would have a lot more customization for your character. And here we go with another cinematic. And you can see that the cinematics are very, 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 very similar to Division 2's. If you remember Division 2 cutscenes, the models, the shading, everything going on, the flow of it, the smoothness of it, it is exactly Division 2. And I will say to this day that if you were to load up Assassin's Creed Odyssey and do a side-by-side to this game, Odyssey would blow this away. And this is a game that's coming out next week. Keep that in mind. From the same developer. So this is how you steer the ship and navigate it, basically. This is like your default view. Kind of like Sea of Thieves, where you had the wheel and you had this view. The only problem I have with this is the wind factor, which you'll notice later in the video. So this is the, I guess, off-ship aspect of the game. It's extremely clunky. Doesn't look great, does it? It's very, very wonky, clunky, blocky. There's no jump. You have this wheel, kind of like Red Dead or GTA. but it doesn't function like Red Dead or GTA does. It's way more clunkier. So we have our missions very similar to... it's kind of a hybrid between Assassin's Creed and Division, in my opinion. So you can see I need to get some explosive firearms and some rum. Now this is the problem I had. You go to click set sail. Now these are other players, by the way, showing up right here. You can see their tags. So that's kind of cool that there's like an MMO aspect. Because the controls are so wonky, I'm trying to move the ship, but it keeps going back to disembark. So it keeps putting me back onto the island. Let's try it again. And you have to see you have to be in the right exact spot for it to come up. Okay, we're on the boat. Let's let the sails down. You go to let the sails down to move. Oh, and it puts you back. At this point, you can see I've actually switched my Xbox controller, thinking maybe it was a keyboard mouse thing. Maybe the controller would be a lot smoother, so that's why you see the Xbox buttons. Same thing, even with the controller. Try it again. And this is the first quest, by the way, in the starting area. Nope, no dice. And it looks like other people are having the same problem because I could see, other people online popping up, then disappearing, then popping up and disappearing. The quest should be, can you get the boat to move? Okay, we're moving now. It's amazing. I went back to mouse and keyboard, and I have no idea what I'm looking for. So at this point, I'm looking at the top of the compass, thinking it's like a Bethesda game like Fallout, where you have the map up top. I'm thinking, okay, I got to go to the gold spot. Okay, loot bundle. This is the stuff that's in the water right next to me. I click it, nothing happens. Oh, there it goes. The controls are not smooth by any measure. Like, the interactions in the game are not smooth at all. And so now I have a shark chasing me, and it doesn't tell you at all. It doesn't tell you anything that you need to attack the shark. It doesn't tell you what to use to attack the shark. They just kind of threw it at you, which I'm okay with stuff like that. It makes it kind of fun. So you have the spear. Here's the problem with it. It's right click, left click. That's it. That's it. I mean, there's no challenge whatsoever. It's not like a shooting game where you could ADS and you can crouch, and there's all these different variables and different skills you could add. I hate to say it, but like a 5-year-old could be amazing at this game. So after killing a couple sharks, my sail finally does go down, which is great. It actually works. I still have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know where I'm supposed to be going. I'm assuming the gold icon on the top of the compass is where I need to go, just from previous games. And that's what I'm going to go with. And like, the shark thing's kind of cool, but like, I don't know. 2 hits and the shark's dead. 3 hits and the shark's dead. You click once. You aim and click. That's it. Like, it just seems very dull. Like, there's nothing challenging or fun about it, And this is the wind I was talking about. You have to fight this crazy wind gust to be able to steer, just to get into places. And that was it. So that was literally the first quest. So here's me going back to turn it in. Back on the wonky sand. Everything's clunky and glitchy. So apparently you can cook in the game. So just to look at it, I opened it up. Just wanted to see what all you can do. I'm assuming it gives you some buffs. Like this one restores stamina. But I'm assuming it's just like any other game that you cook food in, and they give you special buffs for a certain amount of time. I didn't really get too far into it because I was missing the ingredients, and it's like, you know what? I'm not going to go out and kill sharks for an hour just so I can have 20 extra spirit. Alright, so this is the action wheel I was talking about. You have to press left control to open up this action wheel. That's another player online, which is kind of cool. And the action wheel, again, is just like, it's kind of like Red Dead and GTA, where you have that, pop. But it is nowhere near as seamless as Red Dead or GTA. This is, like, very clunky. Like, I'd say out of 20 control presses, 13 times it opened. So it's very wonky. Again, could be the beta. I don't know. It's just not looking good. So these are my options. You can change the views. You can bring out a camera to do screenshots. Or you can play music, which is not available in the beta, I guess, for some reason. I don't know. Sea of Thieves had it in the beta. Just want to note that. So I'm clicking through this wheel, this pop-up wheel, to change my view, which I think that's terrible. I mean, it's 2024. This is a AAA studio. This game's been developed for 7 years. You're telling me I got to click a wheel to change views? And now we got this mini game. So I need to get in this. It doesn't say anything about it, which is fine. So I'm figuring out, okay, you got to get in the green. It's like picking a lock, right? But that was for the door. How does that make any sense? Why would you pick a lock on shrapnel? Ubisoft, why would you pick a lock on shrapnel. Being off the ship reminds me a lot of Final Fantasy, where you're walking through the forest trying not to get randomly hit by a mob to spawn a fight. That's kind of what this feels like, in an uncomfortable, odd, doesn't seem right kind of way. And sadly, yes, your character does not speak. Minimal interactions, just like The Division. There's no voiceover. So not much story at all. I mean, you're literally thrown in, you're blown up by the British Army, you survived, and then you're trying to find the map to get to the pirate headquarters. Now watch my ship. Watch how much it veers off to the right, just from the wind, okay? I'm heading straight, but I'm fighting the wind now. Look at this. I don't think that's very realistic, guys. I got to be honest with you. Yeah, wind is going to play a factor, but it's not going to move the ship on a crooked angle like that. It shouldn't. It doesn't do it in Sea of Thieves. It didn't do it in Black Flag. It didn't do it in Odyssey. Why is it doing it here? And now the game opens, which is a cool thing that Ubisoft does. I like they did it in Valhalla. They did it in Odyssey. I like how they give you like 20 minutes of the game and then it's the title screen. I'm glad that they continued it in this. It's probably about like the only good thing I've noticed in this beta so far. Here's the sad part, guys. We got Singapore. We've got Belgrade. I mean, it's almost all the teams worked on this game, and this is what we got. It's like, I don't know if like one person from each team worked on this, or if they're just saying everybody worked on it because they want to hype it up. But like, man, if everybody worked on this at Ubisoft, you got trouble, Ubisoft. You got a lot of issues going on. I feel like they took the cinematic team for The Division and they're like, here's this game we're doing. Make all the cinematics. By the way, copy and paste whatever code you use to make the cinematics. I'd almost rather have a designated character or hero than having a character creation for this game, because you lose so much of the immersiveness when your character does not react, doesn't talk. It only grunts and looks and makes facial expressions. There's no voiceover. Like, that's just, for the story, it sucks, right? I mean, my guy doesn't even look like a pirate, really. I don't know what you would... I don't know what he looks like, but he's definitely not a pirate. So this is like the main town. Now, we're immediately blasted in the chat window with Ubisoft errors. Network error, can't connect to this, can't connect to that. You'll see that pop up frequently. Like, it would have been cool that you could, like in Odyssey or like in Valhalla, like you could scale the walls in here, you know? Like, you can't even jump. Your character cannot jump in this game at all. This is a 2024 release by a AAA studio, and your character cannot even jump. Think about that. So you do have these options. I don't know, and honestly I don't care, but I don't know if picking one versus the other changes the course of the game or changes the missions or the quests or what you have to do. I don't know. At this point, I don't care. At this point, I'm so disappointed. I'm kind of just breezing through this, wanting to find where the meat and potatoes are, right? Where's the gameplay that you're going to pay $60 for? Like, where's it at? And you'll notice network problem occurred. Again, it's beta. Can't really stick to that too much. But, I mean, your game's coming out. And I think if you pre-order, you get 3 days early access. So technically, the game's coming out very, very, very soon. I mean, within a week. And it's still functioning like this. And at this point, I'm just following the command prompts on the compass. So whatever's gold or has the yellow check, I'm assuming that's where I need to go. That's generally what that means. As far as the story goes, I'm completely lost at this point. I don't know what I'm doing or why I'm doing it. The funny thing is, looking at it now and looking at these graphics and the way it plays out, this reminds me a lot of Origins. And Origins was a fantastic game. It wasn't as good as Odyssey, but it's very Origins-like. Like, the graphics are similar to Origins. The way these cinematic cutscenes come through is very similar to Origins. Did they take old code, old assets, old graphics, and put it into a 2024 release? I mean, maybe they're saving some money. I don't know. But you got like a gamer tag with a gamer banner, what platform they're on, and all this stuff, and a big rectangle over the head. Like, it doesn't seem very immersive, right? Right? In an MMO, typically you just have a name, right? You don't have the gamer tag, the banner, the profile, the icon, the system they're playing on. I don't know. So now I got to go get tools, right? I have to craft. Like, I thought this was a pirate game, not Minecraft. Why am I crafting tools? Shouldn't I be sailing around robbing people, some PvP, something? Like, why am I having to craft tools? So at this point, I've given up. I have had enough. I said, you know what? Thank God this was a free beta because I didn't have to spend money on this and then essentially refund it. So again, for me, I'm very disappointed. You know, I thought for a game that's been 7+ years in development, a lot of hype around it for a long time, and just the record they've had with Odyssey and Black Flag and Valhalla, and how amazing and immersive and very polished those games are. Coming from a AAA developer, I can't believe, I'm stunned that this is a 2024 AAA release from people that have given us so much great stuff in the past. I am very happy that I got the free beta, that I got to try it and not spend money on the game, thank God. But I'm let down, man. I was really looking forward to this. I was going to make a lot of content out of it. I know a lot of the guys on the podcast, we were all hyped for it. It's garbage, man. I'd rather take that $60 and put it in the Fortnite and buy a battle pass and get some skins, to be honest with you. Like, that's how shocked I am that this game came out this way. But the overall game is already done. You've seen it. It's already there. That's not going to change. The wonky controls are terrible. I tried with both controller and mouse and keyboard. Both were absolutely terrible. I'll give them a W for posting this as a free beta, but I'll give them an L on the actual release. So if you feel the same way, if you tried it, leave me some comments down below. I'm sorry, guys, but I won't be playing Skull and Bones. See you in the next one.